And good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you are watching. Welcome to Slow Motion Broadcasting for the second series of the XSLR season number 9 as we take to Wild West Motorsports Park in the Lucas Oil Pro 4 trucks. I'm Adam Thompson. Along with me today, Joshuah Wilkie, who's also running the cameras as well. And Josh, I think this new discipline, as we change up from dirt oval to dirt road for some mudslinging fun, it's definitely going to catch some people out here for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we're on dirt, but that's probably all about is the same between the two disciplines here. So we have trucks now. They got about 20 inches of travel, you know, nearly 900 or more horsepower, and lots of jumps and turns and banging doors, and you can get you can get pretty friendly with the people around you, let's say, in these things. So I think we're probably going to be in for a pretty good show with 17 drivers in the field tonight too. So pretty good showing.
Yeah, very good showing indeed. The Wild West Motorsports Park, located in Sparks, Nevada, just north of Reno, Nevada. And definitely a track that I think a lot of people on iRacing, especially myself, really enjoy running on. It's not the fastest track. You're not going to, get all of those 900 horsepower engines to the ground like we saw at Eldora Speedway with the 410 sprint cars. But it's definitely going to be fun. Let's ride on board here with Jason Green as he approaches the uphill section here of the Wild West Motorsport Park. Got to get heavy on the brakes through here, get that car pitched in, takes the more of the inside line, and he's right now running third. Now, this is the most tricky part of the track, I would say. You've got to get the car stopped, slowed down. It's going to be crowded there in the races, and then you have to just put the throttle down in order to get on the next part here, which is this left-handed turn that is very difficult, I would say. That's where you can lose quite a bit of time in these Pro 4 trucks. And now the final corner here before you restart your lap here. Jason Green showing us a great angle of this track, and he will come through the start finish line, which is right there where it says Lucas Oil, and that is a very quick lap around the Wild West Motorsport Park. 17 drivers registered for this evening's race here on Slow Motion Broadcasting, and we are going to bring you some great action live. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen this many drivers in a Pro 4 Trucks race before on iRacing, so we are going to be in for quite a show. There's our second place finisher last week in the 410 sprint cars, Jake Ham, getting some laps in as well. He's currently fourth fastest with a 50.42, and that brings us an end to qualifying. Your pole position is going to be the 244 of Adam Thompson, and we have some heat races to start off our night. We have I think we're going to do 4 of 6, I think. 3 heat races with 6 drivers at least, or at a maximum. So let's take a look at our first heat race here. On the pole here in heat race number 1, the 244 of Adam Thompson and Jake Ham starting on his outside. The 57 of Edgar Sentinelli will start third, and on his outside, the 37, who had an impressive performance last week in the 410 sprint car, Jimmy Howitt. And the final row, the 215 of Michelle Lynn and Joshua Sushi in the number 29. So 6 cars in heat race number 1 here. They'll go one time around. It should be one time around. I don't think these are standing start. Well, no, it is. It's going to be a standing start, actually.
Yeah, that should be a bit interesting. I'm not sure I've seen too many standing starts in these trucks before. They do definitely hook up like crazy, so a standing start is going to be pretty interesting here. I'm not seeing a pace truck coming out here, so it definitely looks like we're going to get a standing start. And I do believe, yeah, we have a few heats here, kind of inconclusive as to how many they are. Unfortunately, the session would not let me view that for some reason. I kept getting an error code, but we do have a few, just waiting for the last driver to kind of jump in here, and it looks like we're about to get a start.
Here we go. The lights will turn on here. 5 lights turn on, and 5 lights will go out, and away we go here at Wild West Motorsport Park. Great start there by Jake Ham, and he's going to try and get alongside Adam Thompson, who has that inside line into turn 1. But Jake Ham trying to get the speed and momentum from the outside line. He won't get by Adam Thompson this time as they go down the hill. And Adam Thompson will lead here through the opening corner here. And now, but Jake Ham right there on the back bumper here. We got one just a little bit sideways in turn number 2, but gets her all figured out. Adam Thompson still leading, though, with Jake Ham hot on the heels of the 244. Further back, the 57 of Edgar Santinelli was the one sideways, and I think we have lost one. That was Joshua Sushi, who we lost, who is in the pits now. I wonder what has happened to him. I wonder if he went for a little bit of a ride there, because these cars not very difficult to flip on its side, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's one of those typical things with these first laps. Somebody's going to end up on the roof, and that's just kind of the way it goes. It looked like maybe I saw a bit of barrier climbing going on there just out of the corner of my eye, and it's really, really easy to do that in these. They obviously want to claw up, around, and on top of absolutely anything you put in front of them, and if you just happen to kind of nudge that barrier, you can get flipped, or, you know, even more likely, you just kind of rub tires or somebody else around you, and you get flipped out. But so far, it looks like we're kind of spacing out a little bit here. The pack has definitely spaced out from the front, and we're not getting quite so many shoulders out as we were on the first lap.
Jake Ham trying to chase down Adam Thompson as we're looking at Jimmy Howitt now. Jimmy Howitt kind of on his own little race here, but this is kind of one of those racing series, the Pro 4 trucks, that there's not really a fastest line. There really isn't. You know, the lines will differ, you know, if you can get the momentum to carry you around the outside, as we see the 244 of Adam Thompson get around Joshua Sushi to put him a lap down.
Oh boy.
Oh, and a little sideways.
Little barrier climbing, just like I was saying there a moment ago. Just a little bit of barrier climbing there. He's trying to kind of hug the inside. You get caught in that berm, pulled him in, almost kick-flipped the truck there, but was able to put it back down on 4 wheels, and looks like he's going to keep going, but kind of struggling with a back marker here. See if we can't get around him, and yeah, looks like he's going to be able to clear him pretty easily. You know, rolling into this section right here, I noticed earlier I did a couple laps, and you got to kind of brush the brake right about there. You just need to tap the front brake of the truck, or you get what happened to Jake Ham, and it will fling the front of the truck up in the air. You see sky for a minute, and then it just comes down really hard, and you can actually damage the truck like that. So you are having to play with a bit of a gyro effect and stuff out there, and in these things as well.
Yeah, it's definitely not it's not racing for the faint of heart at all. You know, it is, you know, it's racing a rally truck basically, and you have to take the skills in rally car racing and rally cross and really put them together, especially on these bigger jumps, as we saw. If anybody caught any of the WRC event this weekend at Kenya, he saw there was one particular stage with a big old jump that all those cars, they went over it. They were flying high like they are here, and they were not landing flat. Let's take a look at what happened to Joshua Sushi as we have a replay here. Joshua Sushi takes turn 1. All right. Oh, yep, barrier. Yep. And
I thought I caught that out of the corner of my eye. So it wasn't even a flip. He sort of ball parked himself there, and again, easy thing to do. These things basically have, you know, they're a cat on a screen door, man. They're going to climb if you put them in front of something.
Yep. Definitely not a fun heat race here for Joshua Sushi, but track time is definitely what you want here, because you're going to be going against 17 other competitors later on this evening. Final lap here, and the checker flag will come out for Adam Thompson, who will win heat race
the 180.
number 1.
Very nice. Oh, through the outbound. Very, very nice for the crowd there as well. You got a nice little 180. He's going to get, oh, there we go. Oh, and another big one. So having some fun here.
Lights are made.
Some fun here in the, oh, Michelle Lynn getting ball parked as well. Yeah, so that was a pretty good end to that one there. I think we got pretty spaced out near the end of the race there, but hopefully we can have a little bit of a closer one near the end. We get some, get a little bit more pace going.
All right, heat number 2 on the way here, and the lineup looks like this.
Oh, it seems to be stuck here. Let's see if we can't get that. There we go.
There it is.
Got Adam Thompson stuck at the bottom.
Andy Cossack's the number 50 on the pole position here in heat race number 2. Tyler Coates in the 75 in the second spot. Row 2, the 78 of Derek Wilkie and the 28 of Chad Gross in the 4th spot. And just like that, we are underway. Heat race number 2 here as Andy Cossack gets a great start there, but side by side, 2 rows back, and everybody's stacking up in turn number 1. Everybody trying to just figure out a way down the hill without wrecking each other. But here comes the dangerous part of the track, where everybody is going to pile into, still side by side for the 2nd spot and for the 4th spot. You can see everybody trying to figure it out. Who got out wide there? That was Kevin Irwin getting out really wide. Brian Brian
Straczynski. Straczynski. It's a difficult one. Yeah, he's in a few of our different leagues here, so I'm pretty sure I got that right. I'm pretty sure it's Straczynski. Loving this cheese truck, though.
The cheese truck, Kevin Irwin, here in that 5th spot gets. I'm gonna have real problems with that name tonight.
We can just call him Brian.
Brian, getting around Brian. And Kevin Irwin, though, gets out a little bit wide. Some debris on the track now. That 841 truck definitely has seen better days. You can see some of that bodywork flopping
Grandpa
off.
Simpson taking some hits in the front there for sure. He's looking a bit. Yeah, he's yelling at that fender that fell off there for sure off Brian's truck. And that's how it is in these things, man. You can really get your shoulders out. You can actually move a competitor, you know. I watch a lot of Supercross, and you know, there's something that happens there where you can basically stuff another rider into a corner. And if you do it just right, it's totally acceptable. You can lay the guy down pretty much. Everybody in the stadium will cheer and you keep going. And that's pretty much what you can do here, but you got to do it just right. If it looks, too malicious or, just too hard, or you take a chunk right out of it, then, we're not going to like that, but you're definitely going to see some elbows getting thrown.
Well, looking further back, Tyler Coates, the 75, has made his way into second. Derek Folk right now in the 78 and 30 tries to go down the inside. He gets a little stuck there. Didn't keep the momentum going to get down the inside and move Derek Folk, and that almost opened up the door for Kevin Irwin there. But here's Chad Gross on his inside right to that bumper, but again, doesn't quite have that momentum and speed on that inside line in that first particular corner there, Josh. And that's what I was talking about earlier. There's not really a fastest line around these kind of courses. It's a matter of just speed and momentum. So sometimes you are going to take turn one a little bit wider than other turns, or how you would normally take a road course turn, and that's the, going from the outside, going in on the apex. These trucks, you got to get momentum going in order to just really get the speed down and get the faster times. And you can see Derek Folk's car definitely has seen that bumper is definitely crinkled. It will need some repairs by the pit crews here tonight as he takes that inside line just to try and pull a little bit of speed away from the rest of the pack behind him. But Tyler Coates right now in the second spot after, he started in second. So final lap here, white flag displayed in heat race number 2 here. And everyone pretty much spread out. Let's go to that battle for fourth as it's just less than a second here. You can see that right now, the cheese truck right there on the back end of Derek Folk. If he can find a way by as we are going through the second turn of the Wild West Motorsport Park track, you can see everybody's just trying their best to get that speed, get that momentum, and you can hear the throttle modulation as well. A great example of that with Kevin Irwin there, and got a little bit bogged down. But coming across the front straight now is Andy Kosick, who will be our heat race number 2 winner. Tyler Coates in second, Derek Folk third, fourth, Kevin Irwin, Chad Gross in fifth, and Brian in the 841 in sixth. And that is heat race number 2, all said and done as everybody just decides to go on a demolition derby.
Oh, yep, that pretty much ended that truck, I think. But we'll get her fixed up for the next one. The digital racing, of course, really nice. Not too hard on the mechanics.
Now, heat race number 3, our final heat race of the night, looks like this. On the front row, it's going to be Jason Green and Ethan Orr. Row 2, Jim Brewster and Brad Cathcart. Good to see him back. And Jason Greider as well back here at XSLR. So that is a look. All the cars just getting ready to go here. This is the final heat race of the night. I said 17 cars, and that is or 17 trucks, I should say. They're not cars, they're trucks. But we are getting ready here. Lights will come on, and somebody's already jumped the start here. And
that's going to cost
him. Lights go out, and away we go. And already that was Cathcart. That was Brad Cathcart who committed the penalty there. That's the kind of the nice thing about Wild West Motorsports Park is that you have the pit lane right after the finish line, so you can just go in, serve your penalty, and come right back out. Side-by-side action for the race lead, though. The 160 of Jason Green in that green and black truck trying to just maintain the race lead here as Ethan Orr gets a little bit out of shape out of turn number 3 there. And now they're going down the back straight. Very bumpy. Gotta keep these cars planted. And
the Huckabuck, a big one. Yeah, that was a big tank slapper there. So you basically kind of just take off a little bit sideways and you get bucked one way and then land, grab all the grip and get bucked super hard the other way. And almost tossed him straight into the wall, lost the front of the truck there. And, a really good point you were bringing up earlier about the different lines and stuff. You're right. It really isn't a fastest line out there. And even if there was, it's sort of like a fight. You think you got a good picture in your head of how things are going to go, and then you get a shot in the nose, and all of a sudden now your lines are all over the place. There's a guy beside you, and that line that was working before isn't because the track changed, and you really have to be willing to just kind of get out there and really race different lines than the person in front of you is more important. If you just can't run the same line.
Looking at the gaps here, 4-second lead here for Jason Green, as he is running away with this. Jim Brewster, excuse me, it wasn't a 4-second lead. It was a 2.3-second lead over Jim Brewster right now in that 933.
Whoa. And
Jason Green, he is throwing it over these jumps.
That was a big one. That was a big one. All 20 inches there, I think, on that one for sure.
But I will say that initial jump on the front straight, not nearly as bad. You can throw full throttle that, you don't get her planted on the landing, that should be fine. It's wide enough. It's the back straight that is the concern, because you not have just one jump, you have 3 jumps there, and you can get really out of shape. Generally, you'll see a lot of guys, what they'll do is when they get to that second to last jump, they'll actually start to lift off the throttle. So that way, when they land, they can just get right back into the throttle without losing the traction. Because if you have those tires spinning at a high rate of speed, you're never gonna get that traction rolling again, and you're just gonna be all over the place. So 4 laps here out of the 5. Jason Green setting the fastest lap time with a 50.05 here, as we are riding on board here with Jim Brewster in the 933. You can see he's trying to just get the power down through that corner. That's a really, these 2 corners are so difficult, because you got that first line there. Turn number 2, you got to get the speed down, the cornering speed down. It's so slow. And yeah, sure. You're right, Jim Brewster, great
nailed that line through there. Yeah, you want to get as close as you can through there. He really did nail that line through there. And even off, you're mentioning the sort of intentionally disruptive bumps into the last corner there, and that's exactly what they are. They're there to try to mess you up, and the idea is to use them to your advantage. And if you can get just the right sort of bouncing through there, like you were saying, and just the right throttle positioning and everything through it, you can actually kind of help yourself out, get the car rotated, and get on the gas really hard. And see if we can't just have a good look at Jason's line here and see if he gets nice and close. I'm guessing he's going to come right out to the fringe here a little bit, and you want to get as close as you possibly can. So that's not a great line he just took through there. See if Jim Brewster does a bit of a different one, a little bit tighter. That's going to be a little bit faster, and then we see Ethan Orr just a little bit farther out from that. But it's hard to get that line at this stage of the race, I would imagine.
Very good points there. Jason Green, and he'll take the checkered flag here. He will move into tonight's A feature automatically. Jim Brewster will go to second. The top 2 will move into the A feature. Ethan Orr will come home to third after a hard hit with the wall in the final corner earlier in the race. And Jason Grider will finish 4th. Brad Cathcart, after jumping the start, will come home to 5th. Well, there we go. Heat race action all said and done here at XSLR. Live on YouTube with slow motion broadcasting. We hope you all are having a great evening tonight. And let's get ready for B feature action here. And let's look at the lineup here quickly. Jimmy Howard, Derek Folk will be your front row. Ethan Orr and Edgar Sancinelli, row number 2. Row number 3, Kevin Irwin, Jason Grider. Michelle Lynn, Chad Gross, row 4. Brad Cathcart, Joshua Sushi, and Brian
Drzezinski. I gotcha.
Thank you. An 841 will round out the grid. Bottom 2 drivers will not make it through to the A feature. So a lot riding here for a lot of guys, for a lot of drivers there, especially in the back. But if you are not in that bottom 2 when that checkered flag falls, you are into the A feature. And we are just waiting for the rest of the grid to line up here. It looks like everybody's there. And here we go.
Gloves off on this one, I think.
2.
Consolidation time.
5 lights on, 5 lights go out, and away we go. Here in B feature action, Jimmy Howitt, good start there, side by side for the second spot. Ethan Orr, a little bit of bumping there with Derek Folk. Derek Folk survives that, takes that outside line. Down the hill they go, still side by side, further back for that 4th spot. Again, you do not want to be the last two here. So if you're falling back, you're going to pick up the pace. And someone got held up there on the inside corner. And who was that? Oh, some massive contact there. Brian is out.
Looks like Joshua Sushi, unfortunately, getting caught out there. And then that's like you were mentioning earlier there, that's not an easy one to get through with so many trucks. And it looks like he just got caught out as we're kind of single filing out now, though.
For the first four positions, we are caught out. Michelle Lynn, though, she's getting a little bit aggressive there, trying to get down the inside of the 57 of Edgar Santinelli, as this will be a 9-lap race here in this B feature. Unfortunate night for the 841 of Brian, and Brian is out of this race pretty much, so he will not make it into the A feature. Side by side, though, Michelle Lynn trying to get on the inside of the 28 of Chad Gross. She'll get that inside line. Will she have the speed of momentum? She whips that truck around and she takes that spot away. What a move. What a move there by Michelle Lynn.
Yeah, that's a great one. You really got to use the truck sometimes like that to intimidate the people around you. All those panels that we were talking about falling off, they're basically useless. They're really not there for anything. So you can definitely use them just like that. And we lost Chad Gross there. He is on his lid. He's turtled. We're not looking good. Maybe somebody will help him as they go by. Nope, doesn't look like it. Unfortunately, we've lost Chad Gross, and yeah, that's what happens. We'll try to get a replay of that for you shortly here.
Oh, man. So we've lost the two drivers that will not make it into the A feature. Chad Gross and the 841 of Brian. And that is an unfortunate race for them. They had some good speed, but Joshua Sushi will be thanking his lucky stars on that one, because he was in that elimination spot and he is no longer eliminated. Side by side, Brad Cathcart is right there in the 905, and Jason Grider in the 552 makes the move stick as they go down the back straight. And you can just see Brad Cathcart taking it easy now. He doesn't want to spin out, just wants to get to the end here as we hit lap number 5 of 9. Actually, we're still on lap 4, actually, as the leaders did pass through just a little bit ago. Jimmy Howitt, though, is our race leader, has a 1.4 second lead with Derek Folk in tow, and you can see those four, they're right there. Now Brad Cathcart, he's not going to go down the inside of Derek Folk. He can't quite get the speed out of the corner that you need through there to make the move. But you can see Ethan Orr, he is right there. You know, one slip up there by Folk, and Ethan Orr is gonna be right there. Same with Kevin Irwin. So right now, pretty much it's a race for a track position in the A feature, which I would say is something I think you need to consider on a track like this. This track is short and a little narrow compared to some of the other tracks out there on iRacing, like Crandon. But you can see Ethan Orr, he is giving it everything here. He wants that second spot bad, as we are now 5 laps to go here. Ethan Orr right there trying to get alongside, was nearly there to the rear right tire of the 78 of Derek Folk. And you can see Kevin Irwin, though, he is also hounding. He's less than a second behind. But go back to the 5th spot here. Santinelli, he is right there.
Oh, boy.
Oh, a little bit
almost lost Folk there.
Well, I didn't even think he made contact with the wall on the exit of the corner, which is
almost
very
grip rolled it, I think,
do.
yeah. I think he almost grip rolled it there, I believe is what they call it in this form of racing, is you can actually sometimes, bite so much grip on that berm on the side. He did hit a little bit of berm there, to be fair, but sometimes you can actually get enough grip in these things that you can almost roll the truck.
Oh, there we go. Little Dale Earnhardt style racing.
Nudge. Yeah. A little friendly in the cheese truck. Folk falling behind now as well, so I'm not exactly sure. It looks like he got kind of caught up, and that's exactly what we were talking about earlier. You give somebody a little bump, kind of loosen up the rear end of the truck a bit, and sure enough, he is just off his rhythm now for at least the last 3 or 4 corners, and he's going to pay for that one back there for sure, as Jimmy Howitt's just running away with it up here.
Yeah, he's running away, 4-second lead, but these guys have been battling back and forth. The Derek Folk, he retakes the second spot, but here comes Kevin Irwin. Kevin Irwin in the 50s. Excuse me, that was Santinelli in the 57.
The panel's hanging on for dear
Santinelli.
life.
Slide job city there by the 57 truck. That was amazing, but now can he keep it? Oh, Derek Fulk has to hold up there. That was so close. Now he's going to try and dive down the inside. Santinelli riding around that outside line, actually squeezing Derek Fulk into the wall, almost takes Kevin Irwin with him. Now they're going down the back straight. These guys are going at it tonight, and I think this is going to set up well for our feature. Irwin takes the outside line, tries to get the momentum out of the final corner. Tries to get around Fulk, but Fulk's not going anywhere. Up the hill they go now. This is where it gets really interesting. Who's going to come out on top? And they crashed!
Oh, another...
crashed.
It happened again. Sort of the same thing again there. You get the weird bounce. You land, just a ton of grip all of a sudden when you land. Just snapped him the other way. And unfortunately, we kind of got robbed of a really good battle there as he almost gets center punch going into T4.
Those guys were not lifting on that first initial jump. They were not.
Nope, they stopped lifting a few laps ago, I think. Yep.
Yeah, they were pedal to the metal there. And Derek Fulk, he gets the bad end of the stick there. Let's take a look at the replay once again. You can see
if he gets
he
into
was
him
not
here.
lifting either. Here's the cheese car behind. Yeah,
Oh,
you can see.
boy. I think he cheese wedged him there a little bit when he landed. I think he actually wedged the car slightly, and yeah, that's what actually knocked Fulk off a little bit. So the cheese wedge car wedging other trucks.
And Ethan Orr, something has happened to him. He is now a lap down, and Edgar Santinelli is in second here on the white flag. We have missed something. Brad Cathcart, though, he's up to fifth. Oh, man, we are going to be in for an A feature tonight.
Santinelli with a quiet second place here, too. We weren't even really paying attention to him, but he's second with a clean truck. So, wow, that worked out real good for Edgar there. Pretty clean, yeah. I mean, clean compared to Fulk's anyway.
Well, Jimmy Howitt will take the checkered flag. He will start in the 8th spot in the feature. Edgar Santinelli, after driving from the back of the pack, pretty much, he was gained 2 spots there.
I was trying to find out what happened to Ethan Orr here before we, if we can. So I'm seeing him enter pits, left pits. Where are we here? There we are. This might be it.
Let's see what happened.
Oh, you got caught up in the fence. So it looks like he just kind of got pushed out wide by the rest of the trucks there, probably, and yeah, tangled up in the fence. Too bad.
Well, there we go, folks. That is preliminary action all said and done, and now we get a feature to go here. And now that we have a break, we can talk a little bit about the point situation. And I'm not entirely sure if this is accurate, because as Josh and I were talking earlier, there's a couple of stats that we're missing. We haven't been given an explanation, but Adam Thompson currently leading the points with 37 points, and he shows with 1 win. And Jake Ham has a win as well. He is sitting with 36 points. Tyler Brown is not here tonight, sitting with 32 points. He's in the 3rd spot. Ethan Orr in 4th, and is tied with James Howitt in the with 26 points, and Jason Green, Trenton Kramer, Andrew Kosick in 8th technically with 22 points. Michelle Lynn 9th with 19 points. Stevie Ray as well with 9th with 19 points. Joshua Sushi trying to pick up some good points tonight with 16. Kevin Irwin in 11th as well, tied for that spot with 16 points. Jim Brewster in 13th, tied with Jason Greider with 13 points. Chad Gross, 11 points. Brad Cathcart in 15th as well with 11 points. Robert Gilbert, Derek Fulk, 17th, 18th, and that is a look at the point situation. Again, I'm not entirely sure how accurate those are, because Jake Ham won 2 410 sprint car races, and Adam won 2 sprint car races. The only sprint car race that Adam Thompson had a problem with was at USA International.
Yeah, I'm a little perplexed by that as well. Perhaps they're, we were kind of chatting about before the show started there. Wonder if maybe there's just some points we don't know about that are being added to something for best laps or pit stops, or I believe that came from iRacing telemetry or something like that. So maybe they haven't added something up yet, or perhaps we're just missing something. But we will get that all sorted up before, we're out here mainly having fun on Sunday nights with XSLR, but obviously we want to get pretty darn competitive as well. And Jake Ham doing so well second half of the season here. It's going to be a bit of a spicy one, I think, this next round. That consolidation round, or the consolation round, sorry. Always, you got to get your elbows out in those. It's your last chance to kind of show up in the last part of the show here. But the last part of the show is the last part of the show. So we should see who ends up out front.
Well, this is going to be an interesting feature, and we're going to have to go through the lineup quickly once warm-up is all said and done. It's a 5-minute warm-up, so giving some guys a little time to get to grips here. This is your last chance here at this racetrack before we move on in the schedule, which next week we head to Bark River International Raceway, so that will be fun. So you guys get full weeks of us here with XSLR on Slow Motion Broadcasting, and then we'll have a break. Actually, we'll actually have a 1-week break in between that and Atlanta Motor Speedway. So you can see everybody's just having a good time right now, just warming up, getting the track conditions don't matter in Pro 4 trucks, not like they do in dirt oval racing. Not what Yes, there is going to probably be obviously
not over a short period either, but yeah, it does. It will eventually. The Pro 2's definitely a lot more prone to it. The Pro 4s just, they have enough power and enough grip out there to just bully their way through almost anything. And there is a blue groove and stuff that will form, and it does get slipperier and the line does change. But it really depends kind of how many trucks, how long the race is going to be, what track you're at. And it's definitely not as sensitive as something like an oval race, where that's a big part of the game is the grip you're getting and what line you're on and so on. Where you're mentioning before, there's just a ton of lines out there. With this, there is a fast line, but you can be off it a little here and there, and it's just the way it is in truck racing.
Yeah. So about 15 seconds here until the end of the warm-up here for XSLR and the Pro 4 trucks. And what a great group of cars we have got here for the first week of this series. This is series number 2. We did 4 weeks of 410 sprint car racing around some great different tracks. So that is what has happened here before. And you can actually go back on the Slow Motion Broadcasting's YouTube channel here and re-watch those races. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the alarm bell to know when we go live, and the like button. Lineup time here for the final feature of the night. Adam Thompson and Andy Cossack, your front row. Jason Green, Jake Ham, row number 2. Row 3, Tyler Coates, and Jim Brewster. Row 4, Jimmy Howitt, Edgar Santinelli, Kevin Irwin, Derek Wolf. And row number 5, row 6, Brad Cathcart and Michelle Lynn. And the back end of the grid here is going to be Joshua Shushi and Jason Greider, Ethan Orr, and Chad Gross, and Brian will round out the grid. So I guess all 17 cars are going to be lining up here.
Yeah, looks like we got a pretty stacked field here. Full field of trucks. This is gonna get pretty hairy, I think, pretty fast here. What do you think? I'm here for it. So we are just missing one truck. It looks like it's Jimmy Howitt holding up the rest of the field here. And here we go. He's on the grid. So we'll see the lights come on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights on and 5 lights out, and away we go. Ooh, Jason Green, good jump.
Feature. Someone jump again?
No, it looks like Jason Green just got a really good start there on the inside. It's not going to work out for him. I'd want to be on the inside here for sure, but it looks like we have basically
everybody.
Camera's not great here. Sorry about that.
Well, everybody going down into the hill, and this is where calamity corner. And
Oh.
you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
No.
cars involved, 6 cars, 7 cars. And someone's on their lid. That's Brad Cathcart. Oh, an unfortunate day, but he is able to get down. I don't know if he got some assistance or not getting back on all 4 tires, but here we go into the final quarter. You can see everybody's just all over the place.
Oh, how did he sort that out? It looked like he was going in backwards there, and somehow he's pointing forward again, but it looks like we've actually sort of sorted it out here. And yeah, I think you're right. Whoever rolled there did get back on all 4s pretty quick.
Yeah, that was Tyler Coates is way back in 17. Now the 552. Jason Greider, he is banging doors here and trying to just gain some sort of positions. But he's up 4 spots here on the opening lap. And wow, putting the fender to everybody here. Oh, man. I don't think he meant to put the fender there. I think he just meant to rattle the cage a little bit there, I think, of Michelle Lynn, but it doesn't matter. Michelle Lynn's whole back end of the car completely gone. Lots of debris on the track. Got to be careful of that as we're seeing the inside move there, or the outside move. But Jason Greider, but Michelle Lynn now trying to go battle here with Folk. Folk and her go side by side through the jump into turn 1. Michelle Lynn settles down the car, and oh no, Kevin Irwin gets out of shape again in front of her, and we'll lose another spot. Oh man, I don't even know how we're going to keep up here. It's like we need a
nearly
second
impossible.
broadcaster just to give us another angle.
It's nearly impossible. The cameras were provided here as well. We need sort of a wide shot to just see how much action is actually going on out there. And you know, I mentioned earlier, you can kind of put a shoulder on someone, but you also sort of have to play ball with them as well. And you can definitely, as Adam Thompson, just running away with it here. And that's clear air and what it'll do for you. And Andy Kosick behind him, and it looks like Jason Green with a good start there as well. But you really do need to play ball with your competitors here. If you get too many shoulders out, it's just slow in the end.
It really is. I'm sorry. When we cut back to that camera looking down the back of the front straight, there was a piece of debris just flying through the track. I don't even know who it was, but they got smoked. Oh, man. Oh, what a race that we're watching.
Oh, Michelle Lynn is losing a fender every corner by the looks here. She's going to have a completely bare car soon. Really nice slide job from Kevin Irwin up the inside there with the perfect line. You can see how that line works, like nice and wide on entry, and then super tight as you come in through the exit there. And he got it just right. And man, we're looking pretty ragged out there for a couple of the cars. You really got to just settle down, try to get control of that truck, and man, it's hard out there when you're just beside so many other drivers.
Oh, it is, and this is the type of racing you have to find a rhythm. You know,
yep.
And if you don't find that rhythm, it is a very long race for you. You just got to settle down, settle in, find the line that works for you, and get going here as we're looking further back. They're almost 4 wide going into turn number 2, which is exactly what you don't want to have happen here at Wild West Motorsports Park. Side by side, Kevin Irwin using that outside line. Now Michelle Lynn, she's using the outside line. Trying to get around to Joshua Sushi, but Sushi's having none of it here as they go down the back straight over the bumps. They go. Michelle Lynn, she'll cut in front of Sushi here, trying to get around Derek Folk, but Derek Folk's not having any of that. He gets to that outside line. Michelle Lynn, this time on the inside, protects that car. Yeah, that car that's going to need a whole new bodywork change just to replace all those panels. Oh, man, and they're still side by side. Going through turn 1, Derek Folke, or excuse me, that was Joshua Sushi, trying to get around the outside. It ends up not working for her. And now we can see Ethan Orr in that red 222 wanting to play ball a little bit here. Gets a good run, but not able to get side by side. Michelle Lynn just trying to maintain position at this point as we look at Jim Brewster. Brewster in the 933 car.
Biked it for a sec there.
Over.
Yeah, he's biked it for a quick moment there. That's no harm done. It's actually something you want to do. Well, you don't want to bike it, but you know, every once in a while you get a little too close to that inside berm and you can toss those front wheels up and really lose any time over it. You can see those panels just flapping too. They're basically cosmetic on these things. You could just strip the whole truck and probably make it faster. Actually, you get less air up underneath it getting caught in the bodywork and so on. But you might even actually want to lose some body panels as we're going too wide here with, I believe that's Jake Ham and who's that? And Kevin Irwin.
Jake Ham, Kevin Irwin, in that number 7 cheese car. And he is just trying to hold on to the spot here, but it's getting feisty with the car behind him of Jake Ham. Jake Ham, who raced his way automatically into the feature from the heats tonight, now is having to fight back from 7th. He's up 2 spots, but our biggest mover so far is Edgar Sancinelli, who's moved up 4 spots, and he's in 4th place. That is an interesting thing here as we take a look at the gaps a little bit here. You can see a 2.5 second gap between Adam Kosick and Adam Thompson for 1st and 2nd. And that's what 2 seconds looks like on a track like this.
So, yeah, such a tiny track. It really does extrapolate quite a bit there. It's, yeah, that's going to be a bit of a difficult one to make up without a mistake. So Adam Thompson right now just needing to take a big deep breath. It's actually a pretty long race around this track to not make a mistake here. We got a long way to go still, and yeah, man, you're hustling out there in these trucks. Just like you're saying, you know, so much throttle control and so many little adjustments and fine movements every lap there. It definitely starts to wear on you a bit. Real easy to make a mistake.
We can go ahead and get the running order popped up on screen just so everybody at home can see what's happening here. There is, we see some actions getting further back, and that is with Jimmy Howard, I want to say.
Yep.
Oh, someone sideways. Who was sideways there? I'm not sure who that was, but they got sideways in turn 2 and lost a bunch of places. I want to say,
not really sure what you were seeing there. I can have a look back at it. I did see it looked like a yellow truck there. I believe it was Jimmy, but I am not. There he is there.
Yeah, it could have been Jimmy Howitt. Yeah. Couldn't quite tell the color of the car from the blimp cam. And again, more body parts being blown up here.
Oh.
Now let's see a replay here as they go down into turn 2. Gets on the brakes hard. Oh. Yep, and just gets shoved, pushed. Oh, it was Jake Ham, I want to say, that was sideways. There, Derek Fulk, one of the 2. There's
we
Derek
got one
Fulk
more here. We got
front.
another replay with Jake Ham here. Very close to that one as well. So this is probably it.
Yeah, it was him who got sideways. So Jake Ham aggressively on the brakes there and got put to a stop.
Good eye. Good eye. Yep. A little kind of a brief one there, but that was a good 4 or 5 seconds you're going to lose doing that.
Yep. And so his rough feature continues as we are on lap 11 of 14 here at XSLR in the XSLR, the Cross Series League Racing.
Was that Jason Green? Looks like he's up against the hairpin there, struggling.
Oh,
I think he might have his front tires stuck over the barrier, possibly, like we saw earlier. Yeah, he has high-sided himself, or high-centered himself. Sorry, and I don't think he's going to be getting out of that one. Unfortunately, we'll get a replay on that right away. And yeah, ball parked him.
Ball parked himself. He was running quite well, actually. He was running right behind the 50 of Andy Kosick, and yep.
Bummer. So easy to do.
And he tried to get out of it.
Yeah, just a tiny little nudge there. Let's go on board with him here, see if we can't see a little more. It looks like, again, you know, he's trying to kind of play ball here, and whoop, drove it in a little deep, got on the clappers, and yeah, unfortunately hung it up on the wall.
So he was running third, so that will promote Edgar Sancinelli into a podium spot. Welcome to XSLR, Edgar Sancinelli, who has been absolutely on it today. Now he raced his way into the feature through the B main, and now he is up 5 spots here. Ethan Orr has gained 6 spots, but to go from the B feature to the podium spot in the A main. That is absolutely incredible. Now we're riding with Jimmy Howard trying to get to Jim Brewster. Gets a little bit out of shape. Gets on the brakes a little bit. And that
nice
was
driving.
close. That was
Nice
absolutely
driving,
close from taking out Brewster. But now he has the inside line here, which I don't know if you want the inside line here on this corner. And now this time they bump tires in turn 2. And now they're going to go up the hill, get a jump in there as well. And here comes Jake Ham. He goes down the inside of Jim Brewster. And Brewster is, or excuse me, not Brewster, of Jimmy Howard. Couldn't quite get the speed out of the corner he wanted. But Jimmy Howard, I don't even think he's concerned with what Jake Ham's doing. He's trying to get around his the driver in front of him in the 933. Now they're going to go side by side. Jake Ham has a good run out of the final quarter. Can he keep up? But Howard, even better run. Now he's side by side with Brewster, and Jimmy Howard will take the spot down the front straight as they go through turn 1. Connect. Now they're 3 wide out of turn number 1. Oh man, this is going to end in total disaster, I feel like.
No.
Howard now cuts in front of both drivers here. Now has to make a move. Yes, contact there. Brewster puts the fender to Howard, and that allows Jake Ham to get through as well as Brewster. Now Brewster takes that spot away, and he moves up in the 4th. Now Jake Ham and Brewster side by side. They are rubbing tires down the back straight. That is not a good strategy here.
Well, it's a good way to climb your competitor.
Contact. Jake Ham shoves out wide Jim Brewster, and Jake Ham will now take the 4th spot here on the checkered flag. Adam Thompson win. Andy Cossack in 2nd. Barrel rolls across the finish line for Jake Ham. And wow, I don't even know how we kept up with that. But Edgar Santinelli gets the 3rd spot. Oh man, I can't. Oh man. Give me a second here to catch my breath.
I can barely keep up to this as well. I don't blame you there as well. Almost missed the ending of the race. There's so much going on out there at once. I'm really looking forward to the next round of these things, man. That was awesome.
Well, Adam Thompson is your feature winner. Andy Cossack 2nd, Edgar Santinelli in 3rd, Jake Ham 4th, Jim Brewster in 5th, Jimmy Howard 6th, Derek Polk in 7th, Kevin Irwin in 8th, Ethan Orr 9th, Michelle Lynn in 10th, Joshua Sushi in 11th, Chad Gross in 12th, Brian in 13th, Tyler Coates in 14th, Brad Cathcart had a rough day in the office in 15th, Jason Greider in 16th, and Jason Green in your final position. And here's the winning moment here for Adam Thompson as he had a 3-second lead. No, a 10-second lead according to this, but I think that was after the checkered flag. But he comes across the line, and Adam Thompson is your race winner. Holy moly.
Lights to flag on that one. That's how you want it for sure, is you want it lights to flag like that in these things for sure. He didn't even get any dirt on the front of his truck there, I don't think. He was just out there in free air the whole time. Pretty awesome
even
stuff.
His mud flaps didn't even get any mud.
No, nothing. I know he's got a perfectly clean truck here, and man, if you can do that in one of these things, pretty great. Him and as well as Andy Cossack and Edgar Santinelli again, just quietly kind of killing it in the last couple races here.
Looking at this finish one more time here, there's Santinelli, but this is where it got real close. And yep, Jake Ham does a barrel
using him
roll.
as a bit of a launch there. Yeah, that was a perfect stuntman barrel roll there for sure. Maybe he's got a second career going for him there. That was a pretty good one. we actually missed some of the ending of the race for that, so it was a good one.
Yeah. Well, let's get our drivers in here. Let's talk to the Wet Thompson of the night.
Yeah, let's do it.
Won this race. Adam Thompson, our race winner here tonight in XSLR for the first race of Series 2 in the Lucas Oil Pro 4 trucks. Adam, you didn't have much to compete with tonight. No lap traffic, nobody around you, but you got the win.
Hi, Adam.
Hello, Wet Adam.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good, man. We had a bunch of fun. Obviously, a bunch of drivers turned out tonight as well. A lot of these drivers this was their first time driving these trucks, so massive congrats to everybody in the field for most of them finishing the race. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. The track started to wear in, and I started to get some grip there on the inside line. I started driving it more like a road car, and it worked out for me.
Well, you got the win. You won your heat race. You were the fastest man tonight. You get the Triple Crown, basically, for the first series there. And I mean, obviously, you'll have to watch the replay to see what all happened behind you, because we'll just tell you. I'm out of breath.
Yeah, that's not an easy one to cover. This one was an excellent race. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, get ready, guys, because it's going to get even better. We've got, obviously, now that people know that you can do a little bit of bumping in these trucks, this is basically the opposite of the 410s that you just covered. It's going to be an absolute blast for the next 3 races.
Now, you said you weren't going to be here, Adam, but here you are, kicking butt and taking names. Well, what was the change in plans?
Well, so you said I got the Triple Crown tonight, right? Well, I think we can get a quadruple crown now. Babe, you can go ahead and push it out now. Sarah is starting to have contractions, so I had to cut the bachelor party short by a few days and found a flight from Phoenix back to Reno, and now we're just we're hanging out here waiting. So it's yeah, things are going to change quite a bit here, I have a feeling, within the next 24 to 48 hours.
Well, congratulations, sir, on becoming a father, and
big congrats.
We wish you all the luck there, and we're rooting for Sarah as well. So,
yeah, thank you, and obviously, shout out. I think that was probably going to be your next question, but shout out to my parents-in-law, to Mike and Teresa for coming up here, and to Teresa for helping Sarah out when I was gone on this bachelor party, which may not have been the most adult thing to do, but you know. Well, we'll get over that because she didn't have the baby when I was gone. So, yeah, massive shout out to them, and shout out to all the drivers as well, and to you guys for covering this. Josh, I just saw a DM there from you. Sorry I haven't been responding as much as I should.
That's okay, my man.
Indisposed for the past few days, my man. But
that's probably about the best excuse a guy could have, man. And all the best to you guys and stuff too, for sure. We can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you guys having a boy or a girl, or has that even been found out yet?
It's going to be a baby girl. Aspen.
Baby girl.
Aspen can join the party whenever she wants to at this point.
Awesome.
All right. Well, good luck to you, sir, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you, Adam. Nice to meet you.
Adam Thompson, our race winner there, and soon to be dad here on Slow Motion Broadcasting. Let's bring in our second place finisher, Andy Kosick. Andy Kosick, just like Adam's race, a very quiet race, but you raced your way in the heat races tonight. Just talk about the racing out there.
Well, it seemed quiet. I mean, I was building up a gap on Jason there in the first half of the race, but then I started losing my line or my rhythm in turn 2, and I kept giving up multiple tenths, and he was closing in on me, and so he was like right there, and unfortunately he got caught up on the wall, and then after that it was just a matter of not making mistakes. So I put a bunch of practice in with this, a lot less drama with no full cross yellows. If you got the pace, you got the pace, and fortunately today I had it.
Oh, yes, you did. Obviously, much different than a 410 wing sprint car, but the same amount of horsepower. Just talk about driving one of these trucks now.
They're really a lot of fun to drive. You can go in and rub. We had some contact at the beginning. You just have to keep going. Parts fly off. You see them on the track, you're driving over them. But it's really kind of about throttle control and pitching them around and getting them lined up for good exits on the corners. So, but they are a lot of fun to drive, that's for sure. And then picking up the little tricks, how to get it over the jump without landing on the nose every single time. Little things like that really help.
Yeah, definitely. You'll have to watch the replay back because, again, you had a very quiet race, but for a lot of drivers, it wasn't very quiet with a lot of beat up trucks tonight. But who would you like to thank for getting you on the podium tonight?
Oh, goodness. I want to thank Adam for putting on the league and letting me participate in this monkey business. Also, you guys for putting out the broadcast. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my old man who watches the broadcasts every week.
Well, we're glad he watches, and congratulations, sir, on a second place finish.
All right. Thank you very much, Sean.
Andy Kosick, your second place finisher. Now we get to talk to somebody who I'm actually really excited to talk to, and that is our third place finisher, Edgar Sancinelli. Edgar, you were the one man I don't think anybody counted on getting onto the podium tonight, but here you are.
Yeah, I didn't count on it either.
It was definitely one of those races that you had to race your way into the feature from the B main, but you got it done. You made up 5 spots, but so talk about that race, because I think you're the only driver on the podium that actually saw a lot of the bumping and banging happening out there tonight.
Oh yeah, it was pretty wild. From the heat races, I knew that I needed to improve on the starts, and we got this start, and I saw Jim in there, and I just knew I had to get ahead of some of those guys up in the front. So it was crucial to just brake late, and even though I went out a little wide, I knew that I could shoot down that hill, and I was going to go for any gap that I could. I know you can rub these trucks a little bit, and I wound up with some missing panels, but yeah, it was. I saw the leaders taking off and going away, so I knew I had to get away from all the mayhem and all the beating and banging.
Well, that's exactly what you did, but it still wasn't the easiest of races. As we're watching some of your highlights here, you were definitely part of that. Some body parts flying off the truck and all that. Talk about you talked about the race start, but talk about really the mid part of this race where you really were making gains.
Well, I kept on looking at the relative. I saw the times, and I knew that I just needed to focus and be consistent. And there were a few times where I made some mistakes, catch a little bit of the wall here and there, and sometimes run wide and I see the gap fluctuate. But I kept seeing that they were fighting behind me, and then I kept looking at Jason and Andy up ahead, and I saw that they were going to eventually battle. And yeah, it's too bad what happened to Jason there, getting caught up on that wall. I think it's such a deceiving corner there that you think you can shoot that gap, but next thing you know, your tire crawls up that wall and you're hooked. So I didn't realize he was hooked. I told him over the radio, back it up, and I figured I'd be fighting him. But yeah, it was too bad. It was definitely a lot to deal with there.
For sure. And who would you like to thank for getting you a third place finish tonight?
Well, I'd like to thank the Frito Sport Racing team, Slow Motion Broadcasting. You all do an excellent job. I watch you guys weekly. Stevie Ray, Adam Thompson, everybody that's involved, from American Muscle Series to the Weekend Warriors to the Ray Club to this league right here. I mean, I love to race everything. I like to drive everything anywhere. So this is a lot of fun. I'm glad I was able to make this one. And I just want to say thanks to the amazing job you all do. You've become a real powerhouse here in iRacing broadcasting, and I've seen a lot of them come and go over the years, and you guys are doing it right. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate that, and congratulations on your third place finish.
Thank you. Well, and thanks to my wife too, and my family for supporting me doing this. But yeah, thank you. I enjoyed it.
Congrats.
Have a good night.
Good night, guys. Take care.
Awesome. Always good to get all kinds of praise like that. Edgar Sancinelli being one of our kind of mainstays in a lot of our different leagues and stuff here, always driving well and punching well above his weight in most scenarios here. But I think that's all we have time for here, Andy. Sorry, Adam. We do have some stuff coming up, though, in the next week here. We can probably get to a little bit of that.
Yeah, let's go through the racing schedule here on Slow Motion Broadcasting. Tuesdays is the American Muscle Series. Of course, you heard Edgar Sancinelli mention that. That's at 9:10 p.m. Eastern. If you want to see Matt Malone try and not crash a Mustang, that's the place to go. Again, 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Tuesday here on Slow Motion Broadcasting. And then after that, on Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, the Ray Esports Club Racing League, racing a multitude of different cars. And then at 9:45 p.m. Eastern, Sim Racer Group here on Slow Motion Broadcasting as well, so you can catch all those broadcasts. And then our last and not least broadcast here is XSLR, and that's what you just watched tonight, every Sunday at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, the next 4 racing weeks will have the Lucas Oil Pro 4 trucks. Well, Josh, thank you. Of course, all of you watching from home, thank you for watching. We couldn't do this without you, viewers who enjoy the broadcast week in, week out. So for everyone here at Slow Motion Broadcasting, for Josh and myself, Adam Thompson, we'll say good night, and we'll see you next week from Bark River Raceway.